for Poplar and Limehouse, but I'm also here because I'm the chair of the all-party parliamentary group on domestic violence and abuse, and I am of course a survivor of domestic abuse myself. It is through the support of local people and local organisations and women's groups that I found the strength to speak out and stand up as a survivor. And I have direct experiences personally of the vital support that IDVAs provide. In 2022, when I presented sick at the local A&E and subsequently was signed off in 2022, during the Labour Party process of deciding my future, in my view that process was used to perpetuate post-separation abuse and honour-based harassment. The support of my IDVA was absolutely crucial.
Come on!
Just as it was in surviving Parliament, facing post-separation harassment, and when after my ex-husband was finally expelled from the Labour Party for his treatment of me, he then stood against me at the general election with the stated aim of getting even with me. On election day itself, my security situation was so dire and serious that I was literally bundled away from polling stations due to the risks. And I want to say this, that domestic abuse, including post-separation harassment, is incessant. It goes on and on. It's relentless.
Yeah, come on.
Perpetrators use any mechanism available to them to maintain control and power.
Yeah.
And as survivors, we not only have to endure the abuse itself, the gaslighting, but also the failures of systems that are meant to help and protect us.
Yeah, come on.
And it's overwhelming, crushing even.
Yeah.
So never underestimate the importance of the provision of non-judgmental support.
Come on. Yeah.
Having someone that just listens, that provides that support.
Yeah.
Maybe in some cases, as many of us here will know, perhaps for the first time. And I think that's why this service, the Tower Hamlets SASS service, are a crisis intervention service, as we know. And, you know, the support that is provided through the service is during exceptionally difficult and critical moments. So it's absolutely essential, in my view, that any redundancies are avoided.
Yeah.
And the provision of the service continues. More broadly, we know about the wider funding landscape. Domestic abuse services and other support services, the funding picture we know is catastrophic. And we know yet that the funding of these services can literally make the difference between life and death, between hope and despair, between imprisonment and empowerment.
Yeah.
I do want to say as well, we know in our area the way in which the cost of living crisis is having an impact. We know how dangerous it is for those who are wanting to escape from abusive relationships. We know the difficult choices that they face, and we know the risks being taken to stay in unsafe environments.
Yeah.
So it's so crucial, and I think it's no coincidence as well that the current violence against women and girls crisis comes after 14 years of austerity and attacks on social security as well. Being anti-austerity and opposing attacks on social security is critical and must be the way forward from now as well.
Yeah. Yes.
And I just want to end by saying that when I look back at history, when I look back at local history, when I look back at history nationally and across our country, the history of challenging violence against women and girls has always had pioneering activism,
Come on.
has always had people fighting for social change at its heart. And that movement has been driven by the bravery of so many people, people like yourselves here today. They spoke up and they challenged, despite the challenges and despite the consequences of standing up. And I think that's what keeps me going as well. Because of them and because of so many survivors all around the world, all across our country, we must really never allow our voices to be silenced. And we'll keep raising our voices to everybody that needs to hear that we must save this service.
Yeah.
Solidarity.